For many centuries, conspiracy theories have circulated, claiming that Jews plan to dominate the world. One of the most infamous texts behind these claims is the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Although this document was first circulated in the late 19th century, historians have confirmed that it is a fabricated work, created to spread hatred and political propaganda. A version of the document appeared in Russia in 1905, falsely presented as a secret Jewish plan. In 1919, an English translation titled World Domination was published, consisting of 417 pages. The book incorrectly claimed that Jews were planning to overthrow the Russian Tsar, Sergei Nilis. Who published the book presented it as authentic. Even though no evidence ever supported its claims, the false document spread across Europe and America, partly due to Henry Ford, owner of Ford Motor Company, who published thousands of copies. Its distribution fueled anti-Semitism and political tensions. Despite being exposed numerous times as a hoax, even after widespread academic investigations, some individuals continued to believe the protocols were real. These conspiracy theories grew partly because the document was written in a way that seemed authoritative and complex. In earlier years, books such as The Complete Jewish Guide were misused by propagandists to make these false claims appear credible. As more translations spread, the protocols were wrongly assumed to represent Jewish political principles. Despite no community, religious text, or historical source ever confirming such ideas, despite global exposure proving the protocols to be a forgery, some groups continued to believe in them. Throughout European history, false accusations against Jews often grew during periods of political instability and social unrest. This environment allowed fabricated texts like the protocols to gain influence. In early and first-century Russia and Eastern Europe, Jews faced severe restrictions and discrimination. Secret societies and political groups sometimes misused such conditions to promote the myth that Jews sought world domination. Freemasonry was also falsely linked to the document. Although historians found no factual connection, copies of the protocols continued to circulate, especially through newspapers and political groups seeking to create fear. In 1905, a Russian priest named Sergei Nilis republished it in full, presenting it as authentic. His version contributed significantly to anti-Semitic movements in Europe. While some governments banned the text, its underground circulation continued. The propaganda value of the protocols contributed to rising anti-Semitism in Germany, playing a part in the atmosphere that later allowed extremist ideologies like Nazism to grow. Even today, the protocols continue to be referenced by some groups despite being thoroughly debunked by historians, searchers, and even courts of law. In reality, no religious or political doctrine within Judaism promotes world domination. The protocols are a fabricated document created to incite hatred. In later chapters, instead of treating the document as authentic, scholars analyze it as an example of dangerous propaganda. Understanding the protocols as a forgery helps readers recognize how misinformation spreads and how conspiracy theories shape political and social attitudes. The document's details are extensive, but modern studies focus on exposing the forgery, explaining its historical context, and preventing harmful myths from being used against any community. Jewish protocols, the various concepts and ideas of the Jewish elders, fully reflect their knowledgeable and insightful minds. In their very first protocol, the matters discussed include the use of power and authority, the concept of rights and political freedoms, the tyranny of absolutism, the method of controlling the public's minds, moral values as a tool, the limits of stability, exploiting the weaknesses of the people, ensnaring the powerful through indulgence and immorality, deception, betrayal, disloyalty, coercion, and violence. In addition to the concepts of freedom, equality, and fraternity, according to this protocol in the world, the fate of good people is overshadowed by the greater number of bad people. These bad people cannot be governed through debate. Violence and terrorism are considered appropriate. Humans are beasts. In the early days of society, such beasts were controlled only through violence, coercion, and a power that was blind and deaf. Later, this same power was named law. So the law of nature is that power is right. Political freedom is merely a concept. We use this concept as bait to gain the support of the public, who then help in destroying powerful individuals. Rulers who support political freedoms can be overthrown more easily. Once subdued, the blind power of the masses can be guided to achieve our objectives. Now, neither faith nor belief governs. Wealth and gold hold power. Granting limited freedom will create multiple factions that fight among themselves. Probably in today's era, Palestine has been given limited freedom, according to this protocol. Serving as a type of self-government, states can be destroyed either through internal disorder or external enemies. If we have capital, they will turn to us for support. Otherwise, they will perish. Institutions like the IMF and World Bank were established under this notion. Fully controlled by Jews, the masses cannot be guided through reason or logic. So ignorant people adopt behaviors that sow disorder and unrest. There is no harmony in politics and ethics, and a morally upright person cannot be a successful politician. For strong governance, cunning, deceit, trickery, and artificial behavior are essential. Truth, honesty, and good national character have no connection to politics. They become flaws that destroy a ruler. There is no limit to entitlement. It is tied to power. Our power will be invincible compared to current rulers. Even the most cunning cannot harm it, as it remains secret until full power is attained. Deviating from our plan would waste centuries of effort. Among the public, most are driven by emotions without reason. They cannot understand matters. They can be manipulated at our whim. No intelligent person can guide them because the masses cannot comprehend learned advice. Thus, their fate lies in the hands of those who will bring about their ruin, in matters of drugs and vice. The Jewish approach differs from non-Jewish nations. Non-Jews, being addicted, lack reason. Their new generations blindly imitate literature, philosophy, and similar matters foolishly. We have appointed special agents who direct non-Jewish youth toward such pursuits. These agents include teachers and employees of wealthy families. Our women serve not only as household staff, but also as teachers, educating children and ensnaring them in vice. Some women seek men for indulgence. They are often called society ladies and trap those enamored with vice, through cunning and deceit in politics. People can be led along our path, and even powerful rulers can be subdued. There is no shame in deceiving others. Success can be achieved through fraud, bribery, betrayal, and disloyalty. To establish a super-government, resources, means violence, and brutal actions can be used. Non-Jewish nations opposing us will be crushed mercilessly. Our agents have spread the slogans of freedom, equality, and fraternity worldwide. To non-Jews, these slogans act like termites, hollowing their foundations and ending peace and tranquility, ensuring our success. On the ruins of non-Jewish nations, we will assert the dominance of our educated class, using wealth under our control. We achieve success by understanding human psychology. Relationships with others are based not just on money, but also on beauty, love, and human desires. These methods paralyze their abilities. Indulgence makes them puppets in our hands. Through the concept of freedom alone, we prove their rulers as old, worn-out gloves. Opportunities arise for us to manipulate other nations and control their officials. Protocol deals with the economic aspects of wars. How Jews would benefit the establishment of so-called governments. Governance through Jewish experts and advisors, the spread of destructive ideologies, media's role, and sacrifices made by Jews. It emphasizes that the economic aspects of wars and their outcomes should be considered. Wars should ultimately leave the fighting nations reliant on Jewish aid, placing them at our mercy. Jewish agents worldwide play a critical role. They act freely and monitor global situations. Nations receiving our aid remain under our control and governance. Jewish agents need not be Jewish. Selected individuals from target nations may be used, sometimes without their awareness. They will serve as assistants to Jewish experts, trained from early age in governance and aware of our objectives. These individuals distract their nations through entertainment while fulfilling our goals. Media will reinforce belief in our scientific theories, causing non-Jewish nations to fall into discord. Political and administrative errors must be avoided. In the modern era, the press is crucial. We will use it to spread unrest. The press is entirely a Jewish tool. Thus, we manipulate it from the background. This approach enabled us to control precious metals globally, achieved through sacrifices and bloodshed. According to this protocol, 1 Jew equals 1,000 non-Jews in God's eyes. Protocol 3, this protocol outlines ways Jews can achieve victory and fulfill their dreams of global dominion, including establishing an elite or aristocratic rule. The symbolic serpent is highlighted. Our goal is near. Our people are compared to the serpent, and once its circle is complete, all European governments will be under our control. Non-Jewish nations' constitutions, which seem strong, are created by us and are prone to collapse, hollowing out their foundations. The power gap between rulers and the blind masses is vast. We manipulate ambitious individuals, turning the state into a battlefield of conflicts. Assembly meetings are futile. Journalists incite against the state, and people suffer poverty. Rights and democratic principles are mere illusions. We create military organizations under Freemasonry, not to grant rights, but to bring non-Jews to ruin. Non-Jews have no independent thought. All their ideas are shaped by our experts and advisors. We prevent them from accessing real knowledge of social and economic systems. Feeding them false education and materials, economic crises will fuel hatred and disrupt exchange, allowing us to trigger a global economic crisis, mobilizing workers to seize property and commit massacres. We are an invincible international power. Any threat to us will be countered by allied nations. They overlook crimes of the powerful, accepting oppression as good. Freedom is deception. It misleads the masses, who can then be chained once their bloodlust is quenched. Protocol for this protocol deals with democracy, sabotage, freedom, faith, gambling, and the global economic system. It emphasizes using uprisings to create chaos, leading to absolutism. While these uprisings are secretly controlled by us, Freemasons, including non-Jews, remain unaware of our full strength. All religion's significance must be minimized, removing the concepts of God and spirituality, binding them instead to material concerns. Speculation ensures all wealth eventually reaches Jews. Shocks in the economy produce insensitive, ruthless classes dependent on profit, creating hatred and revolt in lower classes. Guided by Jewish influence. Protocol 5. This protocol addresses dictatorship and autocracy, detailing methods for Jews to seize power, manipulate public opinion, and establish superior governance. Laws are designed to gradually strip rights and freedoms. While absolute Jewish control eliminates non-Jewish powers resisting them, through centuries of manipulation, including religious, racial, and group prejudices, Jews have become immensely powerful. Nations attempting to oppose them are crushed with unprecedented severity. Protocol 6. This protocol explains how Jews will establish monopolies, controlling the wealth and destinies of non-Jews. Those who resist will be ruined financially. Super-government compliance is ensured through dependency. Industrial and commercial growth is controlled. Resources are diverted to agriculture, but ultimately, all capital remains under Jewish control. Workers' wages may rise, but essential goods will be priced higher. Alcohol is introduced to incapacitate labor, while education for non-Jews is suppressed. Wars, conflicts, and violence are integral to these protocols to instill fear and submission. Maintaining Jewish supremacy globally. Protocol 8. This protocol details that Jews will possess all weapons for effective use against enemies. Unreasonable decisions will be legally justified to maintain public satisfaction. Freemasonry's assistants execute tasks, including coordination with law enforcement, administrators, educators, and diplomats. Knowledge of human nature is leveraged to achieve objectives, with Jews chosen for strategic execution. Economists are central to implementing this system, preparing Jews for key positions while proving the public's divide. Defiance results in severe consequences as examples to others. Protocol 9 Freemasonry's principles. Governance and identification methods are central. Monitoring the implementation of rules ensures obedience. Education is tailored to influence even the most stubborn minds within 10 years. The symbolic word liberal represents freedom, equality, and fraternity, later redefined by global Jewish governance. The supergovernment will be dictatorial, creating laws, administering punishment, and waging necessary massacres. Weapons include ambition, desire, greed, cruelty, hatred, and wrath. Fear and oppression are pervasive, implemented by agents including socialists, communists, and aristocrats, undermining governments until they accept supergovernment control. Protocol 10 Freemasonry plays a vital role, acting as an unseen global government. Power distribution, press freedom, religious liberty, organization rights, property protection, equality under law, taxation, and tax evasion are under careful supervision. Public sees political aggression favorably. A global framework is established to attract nations. Revolutionary programs, led by Freemasons, remove obstacles, allowing the masses blind support to achieve global authority. Our plans are meticulously crafted and executed, ensuring the public's power is guided. Protocol 11 Non-Jews are treated as sheep. New constitutions and revolutions, including Freemasonry and ceremonial spaces, are formalities. Legislative bodies provide mere suggestions, while Jewish authorities enforce laws. Media ensures public perception aligns with Jewish control. Covert implementation avoids violence and terror, preventing fear and despair. Protocol 12. This protocol emphasizes control over the press. Freedom, as interpreted by Jews, applies only to matters aligned with Jewish programs. Media incites emotions to fulfill objectives while being censored to prevent opposition. Printed material is strictly regulated. Agencies release only approved news, ensuring the global perception aligns with Jewish control. Newspapers are minimal and heavily taxed, while literature promoting Jewish interests is widely distributed. Public property is limited. State-owned media is extensive, ensuring our message dominates. Protocol 1.3 Achieving objectives relies on controlling non-Jews through their needs, making them subservient. Some become agents, influencing public opinion. Discussions and media manipulation distract the masses from real political issues, keeping non-Jews passive. Entertainment, art, sports, and indulgence divert attention from critical thinking. Once the global government is accepted, liberal advocates' minds are filled with our ideas, which they proudly misinterpret as progressivism. This continues until no non-Jewish individual retains independent thought. Ensuring the supremacy of Jews as custodians of truth and justice. Protocol No. 14. The 14th protocol deals with religion. Discussing the future of religion, obstacles to religious knowledge, future farmers, and obscene literature. The Jews claim that their religion alone, as the true monotheistic faith, will not allow any other religion to be adopted or promoted in our empire. We will not tolerate this. We are God's chosen people, and our purpose is already bound to the one God. All other forms of faith and belief will be eradicated. Given this stance, some people will temporarily become Muslim or irreligious, but this will be a temporary phase. Due to the Mosaic religion, nations around the world will already be subjugated. We will publish articles comparing our era with past governments to demonstrate the blessings of our time. The benefits of peace, established after centuries, will be exaggerated. The mistakes of non-Jewish governments will be presented in a way that creates feelings of hatred and contempt among people, making them prefer our control over their freedom. We will claim these governments have drained the sources of human life and exploited resources badly. Our philosophers will discuss the flaws in non-Jewish beliefs. But our own beliefs and convictions will never be allowed to be examined in their true context, as only our philosophers are aware of them. In countries regarded as enlightened and progressive, we have already spread obscene and immoral literature. For some time after taking power, we will encourage such material. We will train our intellectuals to take leadership of non-Jews. Their articles and speeches will be readily accepted by minds. The new generation will then follow the paths we have determined. Protocol? No. 15. This protocol discusses many matters, including the claim that the king or ruler of Israel is the father of the entire world. It covers revolution, murder and plunder, authority, intimidation, the future of non-Jewish members of the Freemason organization, the expansion of their meeting places, central control over their leaders, killings of Freemason members, misuse of powers, punishments, global wealth, and the position of Jews as God's chosen people. The Jewish leaders claim that we will stage military uprisings in multiple countries on the same day to establish our government, mercilessly killing all who oppose us. Through our secret societies, we will eliminate any new organizations, while also dismantling the bases of existing secret societies and sending their members to black water. Even though they have served us, since non-Jewish Freemason members will have significant information about us, there will be no choice but to eliminate them. Those not killed will be expelled from Europe by law, as our capital will be in Europe. No one will have the right to appeal against our decisions. To ensure effective governance and instill awe for the government in people's hearts, ruthless measures will be taken. Since these will be government-backed, no one will have sympathy. No matter how many sacrifices are required, our stability and welfare depend on this. To create a strong aura of power around us, its unrestrained use is necessary, so people treat our commands as divine orders. The Russian government under the aristocracy followed a similar approach in the past, which was our greatest enemy after papacy. The massacre of Tsarist Russia was blamed on Jews. Yet the people idolized those who caused bloodshed, mesmerized by their courage, until the establishment of world government. Freemason meeting places will be expanded globally. Prominent individuals will be included. These gatherings will ultimately serve as major intelligence bases. Nearly all agents of national and international police will be included. Police will not only bring rule breakers back in line, but also, if necessary, create disturbances. Enthusiastic members of secret societies will be guided only by us, because only we know the true Freemason activities. Non-Jews will not even sense them. People join Freemasonry for personal gain or curiosity, and their oral accounts are perfectly satisfied by us. This ensures they willingly become our slaves. Such fools will be made to ride the wooden horse of imagination. In Freemasonry, our hidden teeth and public displays exist, known only to our people. Even those who give their lives at our command will not be aware. Our own people have unconditional obedience toward us. Through our operatives, even the lowest-ranking members make decisions according to our will. Parliament members and administrative officers cannot reject our advice. Non-Jews lack inventive and creative abilities. Thus, God has destined world governance and leadership for us. Officials operating government machinery will have no connection with liberalism. Dollars and pounds will belong to us, so we will not need permits for expenditures. Strict punitive measures will be implemented to prevent negligence. Our subjects will view us as a father fulfilling every need, so they will not disrespect the sanctity of rulers. Consequently, our demand will be obedience. Lawbreakers will be severely punished to serve as an example to others. Protocol. No. 16. This protocol addresses education and educational systems for the purpose of brainwashing. The Jewish program is to eliminate all collective powers except their own. Universities are the initial steps of this program. Teachers will be prepared in special programs initiated to ensure they are completely dependent on the government's mercy. Education curricula will include state laws, but not political matters, and only a few will learn political affairs. Educating everyone on political matters produces worthless individuals who dream of a utopian state. Non-Jews' curricula will include such matters that, if implemented, disrupt governance, while all such elements will be removed from our people's curricula. Youth will be trained to not only obey the government, but also regard it as their benefactor. Ancient history and classical literature will be removed, as they provide negative examples. Students' minds will be cleansed of past imprints and guided toward the future. The only historical remnants allowed will be the mistakes and flaws of non-Jewish rulers. Positions will not be given to unqualified people for the sake of a few intelligent individuals. Non-Jews must face consequences for their folly. All forms of educational freedom will be eliminated, and people will be directed toward religion. Non-Jews will be deprived of independent thinking and made obedient like animals. Concepts presented to them will be accepted uncritically. In France, our agents successfully popularized educational programs using objective lessons. 17. This protocol focuses on the legal profession, freedom of conscience, religious courts, the Jewish ruler as a sacred pope, opposition to the current church, police, volunteers, espionage system organization, and misuse of power. Jews claim lawyers adopt a dispassionate and legalistic stance. This profession makes them cruel, cold, and unscrupulous. Lawyers use every means to prove their clients right, thus diminishing the importance of justice. We will limit this profession and bring it under government administration. Lawyers will not directly communicate with parties. Courts will handle their cases. Their fees will be paid by the government. Bias will be eliminated, and corrupt practices will be removed. Non-Jews. Attachment to religion and respect for religious leaders is a major obstacle. Therefore, we aim to destroy their prestige and religious mission. Due to slogans of freedom of conscience, Christianity will face near-complete destruction within a few years. Papacy and powers will be curtailed and rapidly decline. When people seek European courts, we will intervene, aiming to drain them of all power. Our international church will be the real leader with the Jewish king as the true pope. We will educate youth about religion, but the purpose is to teach our own religion, stirring anti-church sentiments. Our press will assist in this. Hundreds of our hands will control all social life. Our authority will be superior even to deities. 1/3 of the population will serve voluntarily. 2/3 will monitor. They will see this as honorable service, not mere spying. Our agents will come from every social stratum, gathering information, while administrative officers act on it. Those withholding information will be punished. Families currently report followers. Globally, our subjects will report anti-government activities, eliminating bribery, corruption, and abuse of power. Protocol No. 18 for secret defense. Harsh measures will be taken, employing fiery speakers to create chaos and spread riots. Non-Jewish police will conduct searches under our supervision. Those causing disturbances will be neutralized. Those involved in dangerous activities will be monitored. Our agents will attack non-Jewish rulers using blind obedience, as crimes can be carried out under the pretext of freedom and liberalism. Protectors of our rulers will be seemingly unknown individuals, as rebellion may occur. Citizens will be made to associate welfare with rulers, granting rulers prestige. Non-Jews will be educated oppositely, offenders punished ruthlessly. Protocol No. 19. This protocol relates to public appeals, trials for political crimes, and their classification. Jews claim that while the public has no right to appeal, they may submit petitions to learn of administrative flaws, allowing us to understand public sentiment. Organizations supporting public power will be like barking dogs on an elephant. They will be ignored after initial visibility. Political crimes will be treated like moral crimes, shaming offenders and teaching the public to despise such acts. Our goal is to prevent non-Jews from learning our methods. We will instead cultivate liberal-minded thinking in non-Jews that serves our purposes and makes them sacrificial. Protocol No. 20. This protocol addresses finance, developmental duties, interest-bearing documents, freezing capital, issuing currency notes, gold and workforce standards, state loans, industrial shares, elimination of wasteful ceremonies, favors for non-Jewish rulers and courtiers, and Freemason agents. The protocol creators claim that political programs are complex and decisive, based on precise data. After gaining world power, we will not adopt foolish high-tax policies. We will act as father and protector. All state property belongs to the ruler, so all funds can be seized. Wealthy individuals will be told their surplus must be given to the state. as their property's protection and legal profits depend on the state. State control of property eliminates legal robbery and ensures public order. Taxing the poor rather than the rich is destructive, fostering rebellion. Taxing growing capital increases income more effectively than property tax. Current property taxes cause unrest among non-Jews. We will meet state needs from those who can bear them, eliminating hatred of the rich. The ruler will own all state property and have no personal wealth. Relatives will be considered state employees. Buying and selling property will be taxed, with unpaid tax collected with interest. This ensures higher revenue than non-Jewish states. Court of Accounts will oversee state finances. The ruler will be uninterested in personal gain, eliminating waste. Investments, production, and inventions will be rewarded from these funds. Non-Jewish financial institutions have caused economic crises. We have removed gold from circulation, using coins, paper, or goods for expenses. Non-Jews' economies have faltered due to their institutions, requiring reform. Non-Jews states borrow heavily, paying interest while principal remains. To satisfy debts, taxes are imposed on poor citizens. Foreign loans enrich our treasuries. We extract tribute while keeping them busy with pleasures, ensuring our hidden rule. Non-Jews destroyed themselves by neglecting labor and industrial capacity. Protocol No. 21. This protocol also concerns debts and capital. It addresses national debts, obligations, taxes, currency exchange, bankruptcy, savings banks, elimination of currency markets, and price determination. It claims the Jewish state becomes wealthy by lending foreign debt, but remains self-sufficient, taking no loans. Non-Jews' corruption and incompetence are exploited. Governments overfill treasuries through interest schemes, but later face repayment problems, requiring further loans. Non-Jewish governments prioritize new investment losses and interest payments, managing debt repayment. Our global government will eliminate such financial and non-financial disputes. Market fluctuations violate governmental prestige. Official agencies will manage credit transactions. Activities will be dependent on us, granting immense power. Self-sufficiency will be encouraged for small producers. Large industrialists' personal capital will be contained, as they often stir public opposition to government. Unemployment is destructive. Our rise to power will have already weakened current governments. Alcohol promotes crime. Prohibition will ensure the public obeys a strong government. The first task of our ruler is to extinguish unrest and destroy the current society, even if it requires bloodshed. Any opposition will be eliminated. The purpose of God's chosen ruler is to end blind, irrational forces. On the ruins, our ruler will establish a throne, and the world will be urged to thank God for divine guidance. Protocol No. 24. This final protocol, prepared by Jewish leaders, concerns governance, competency. It describes strengthening the global rule of King David's lineage. We will determine human thought paths. Some descendants of David will jointly select rulers and heirs, but succession will not be hereditary. Rulers will be informed of state secrets, but only they will know. This preserves knowledge of the founder's hidden methods, distilled from centuries of experience. Natural laws will be incorporated. During training, any display of irresponsibility, compassion, or similar traits will disqualify candidates from governance, as such nations are dangerous for rule. Only those capable of cruelty and oppression will govern, with no allowances. The ruler's conduct and future proposals will be hidden even from closest advisors. Only the ruler and deputies will have knowledge. The ruler will be seen as a representative of destiny and mysterious phenomena. All must submit. Rulers' suitability, competence, and religious understanding will be tested before granting power. Interaction between rulers and subjects will be permitted. The ruler will not be a slave to personal desires, especially sexual impulses, which could undermine decision-making. High-ranking rulers of David's lineage must sacrifice personal desires for an exemplary, unblemished kingship. These were the Jewish protocols, signed by representatives of the 33rd degree. Explanations about these representatives were provided in previous chapters.